It was the year 2003 when my manager, my then national sales manager, called me into his office. I remember it was around February, the beginning of the year. And he told me that he had already forwarded my name and suggested, after my exemplary sales performance as a sales representative the last 3 years, that I become a key account manager, or what you call today modern trade manager. And my role was now to be in charge of two mega supermarket chains that between themselves they had over 50 branches spread all over Kenya as a country. Two supermarket chains, one had 11 branches, the other one had 3, and the government account, that is the government of Kenya account, and the armed forces canteen organization, which again had about 40 outlets spread across all military points and military posts in our Kenyan country. So I was to be in charge of, now those are what you call key accounts, and I was to be in charge of our business. And of course that took me aback, and within a couple of weeks my letter was out. Of course the terms had changed, and now I started working, and under me I was given the responsibility of supervising and giving leadership to over 40 merchandisers spread across all those branches. So today I want to share what the art of merchandising, what makes a successful merchandiser. And this is because I have also had a chance to do 2 trainings for FMCG companies, fast moving consumer goods companies, on, some of them call them marketing assistants, but others call them merchandisers, others call them the merchandising teams, and of course they have supervisors under them. So I had 40 merchandisers, 40 plus merchandisers, and I had also 3 merchandising supervisors who are in charge of them. And remember to also subscribe and hit the notification bell so that anytime we post, you are the first one to receive this particular sharing, because we want to grow you professionally. We also want to grow you in terms of your business. So what are some of the key skills that a great super performing merchandiser should have? The first one is merchandising skills. There is what you call PICOs. I think one of the beverage companies, multinational, well-known globally, call it PICOs, picture of success. What is the display picture of success, or what in one of the companies I worked for they used to call merchandising standards? So once you understand what are the merchandising standards of the product that you are dealing with, then you ensure once you get into the outlet, you ensure your display is following the merchandising standards. Of course, connected to merchandising skills is also how you display, how you clean the product, how you are able to manage the space around the gondolas, you know, the space in between the aisles, because remember, clients and customers are also moving up and down. How are you managing that environment? Merchandising skills also involves what you call stock management. That is fast in, fast out, checking on expiries, advising the branch leadership and also your company leadership and management on any expiries, near expiries that you are finding coming your way. That is part of the merchandising skills. Merchandising skills also involve what you call, which is very, very important, product knowledge. You are aware of your various variants. For example, if you deal with fragrances, you have a jasmine fragrance, you have a lavender fragrance, you have an ocean fresh fragrance, you have maybe a salt fresh fragrance. You are aware of the fragrances, and you know how each one of them, what are their key highlights, what are their key benefits, what are their key advantages, so that you are able, and you also are aware of your competition. What are the strengths that your competition have over your products, so that you are able to advise any client who is walking up and down and asking questions about what you are selling. So merchandising skills are critical and a very important skill for a success and the success of any merchandiser. The second important skill that I noted as I managed those merchandisers, the 40 merchandisers, was negotiation skill. A good merchandiser who had good negotiation skills, they were always able to get enough shelf space. They could be able to command some good shelf space in whichever outlet they went to. So you would tell that, and because this involved negotiating with the store supervisors, you'll find most of these major super modern trade markets have what you call category supervisors. So he is able to manage with a category supervisor. They are also able to manage with the to negotiate with a category supervisor of the branch. They are also able to negotiate with the manager of the branch, because remember, this business involves what you call B2B, business to business kind of relationships and partnerships. A supermarket chain already is a business by itself, with a manager, with a chairman, and everybody else. The organization you are coming from is also a business by itself. So your work is to negotiate and manage those relationships between the branch supervision, your category supervisor of the branch, your manager or your supervisor, and also your organization internal managers and executives. It also involves you to ensure that you also, where you find a supermarket chain has several, like one of them that I handled had over 50 branches across the country. So you may find that a branch in, let's say for example, Eldoret, or a branch in Mombasa is on stock out, and yet the branch in Nairobi has stocks, or the head office, the central warehouse has stocks. So again, you got to manage and negotiate that relationship between the branch management and also their head office or central warehouse. Another important skill that I noted a merchandiser should have is communication and PR. Verbal communication, written communication, very quick and fast on communication, and also PR strategies. Because remember, you have an image of the company to protect, both to this particular supermarket chain and also to any walk-in, walk-by customers who will inquire and also see how you are working. So how you are groomed, the corporate attire you put on, the way you are approachable, your communication and PR, and your personal grooming standards. I noted those merchandisers that were very good on that had the very great relations in the branches. They had very great relations with the management. They had very great relations even with customers, and they were candidates for promotion. In fact, one of the supervisor merchandiser today is actually a sales supervisor in the same organization. So there is a growth opportunity. If you handle yourself very well as a merchandiser, you can grow to a merchandising executive or a supervisor. Then you find yourself even be given a territory now as a sales representative, and that can grow all the way to a manager, all the way up. The last important, and please remember to subscribe. Hit the subscription button there so that you can be getting this information whenever we post it about professional, career, and business growth. The other skill that is very, very crucial when you are a merchandiser is the ability to manage all these relationships, somebody who is accountable, accountability skills. Remember, most of the time you are working on your own. You have an itinerary, which is very important. It is crucial to have an itinerary that you are following and which you have also shared with your manager, supervisor, and even the branch are aware the days. So accountability also involves how you relate even with the branch management. Some of those supermarket chains were very particular even on the dress code, especially for either a man or a lady. Where you have corporate attire, very good. Where you have no corporate attire, then you need to check. Ensure you are accountable as a person. And any stock you are given from the stores of the supermarket chain to bring to the shop floor, in case they do not have their own shelf stockers, then you need to be very accountable. Lastly, is to say that, remember, the merchandising team and the selling team are like Siamese twins. They are conjoined. They either die together or they thrive together. They either die together or they thrive together.